What's your name? What's your name? Zabo? Ooh, that's different. What's your name? What's your name? Zabo? Ooh, that's different. What's your name? What's your name? Zabo? Ooh, that's different. What's your name? What's your name? Zabo? That's different. What's your name? What's your name? Zabo? Ooh, that's different.
Pussy. Sub. Pussy up. Big. Big. Pussy. Bitch. Y'all niggas. And oh, else. Shit.
Hey, 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 everybody. This is Big Jeff coming to you from No Days Off Radio Productions. Coming to you live from the number one show in the land. Nothing but the truth. All right. I want to start off today by saying that we have been off for a couple of weeks, due to things that's going on in our everyday lives and situations that we have had to deal with. So I apologize for y'all not being able to hear our voices for a couple of weeks, but now we can get back to business. All right. A couple of weeks ago, I had named the show, how can we take back our city from the unwanteds? You know what I'm saying? So, and I know Shanita put out a title today that we are going to discuss as soon as she arrives. She had to attend a funeral for someone that she was near and dear to, so she attended their funeral today and as well. And we just want to update everybody on a lot of things that's taking place and just have a conversation like we always do. All right, so we want to speak on how we can take our city back from unwanted guests, man. You know what I'm saying? We got back in the day, it was, you couldn't come to Atlanta and be more influential or more popular or have more voice than the people from Atlanta or from here. You know what I'm saying? So, we kind of like went backwards because we started allowing people to come to our city and damn near take over, honestly. You know what I'm saying? And it's because a lot of us, in the earlier days of life, meaning the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, and early 90s, we didn't allow that. And that when I say we didn't allow that, I don't mean that we took it to a level to where we tried to hurt somebody or did. It was just we had a strong unity back then. We were the people of our city, just like in other cities. When we go to other cities, the people in the guys or the people in that city, they run their cities. That's why you have mayors and, governors and, councilmen and, people in the legislation period that are from their the hoods of their city. And it's because that's how it go. It's nothing offensive about it. That's how it go. That's how it's supposed to be. You very rarely gonna see people of other nationalities running for public office in certain cities, in certain states. It's not gonna happen because the people run their cities. So we fumbled the ball in our own city to start allowing that to take place. So now you have people that's in your city from other cities, and they have maneuvered their way in so good to where they got us fighting among each other in our own city. Why? And it's because of this new generation. This new generation, they are acceptable to any and everybody. And when I say that, I mean, they could be cool with a person, or all right with a person, as we say, and allow someone to bring someone in their presence and it be cool. When you can't go nowhere else and do that. Unless somebody speak highly of you or you got some type of status, then they give you the idea that you have respect in their city. That's not what I'm saying. They give you the idea that you got that type of rank in their city. Honestly, you don't. That's just their way of playing among you. That's their way of playing into your circle to infiltrate your circle. We got to always remember the old saying is, in order to conquer, you must divide. So when people are allowed to come into your circle and separate you from your circle or separate people in your circles, they win. They can conquer you now. They can conquer your whole entourage. They can conquer your families. They can conquer your relationships. They can conquer anything that has something to do with you because they were allowed to bring somebody into your circle along with themselves. And this generation now, they are good with that. They are good with that. They are good with, being made to think that somebody's cool with them to a standpoint to where they can hang with you and your crew or your team or your friends or your families or whatever. That's not cool. That's not how it go. You know, and I want everybody to understand what I'm saying. You can bring 5 people around your family, in your household, around your business, allow them to be a part of your entourage or a part of whatever you got going on, this, that, and the third. But I guarantee you can't tell nobody nothing about their families. You can't tell nobody that where their families live, where anybody in their family lives, you damn near can't even tell who their parents are. Because they don't share that with you neither. So that means they win. They can put you in a situation and bamboos. Guess what? You don't have a clue as to how to find these people, who to call to try to get, a contact with these people. None of that. So we got to go back to that ourselves in Atlanta, in Georgia, period. Because we have fallen into the infiltration mode. And we're easily infiltrated. All people got to do is make this conversation sound good, man. And we buy right into it. Then once we find out we were sold a dream, it's too late to deal with it. Sometimes it can be too late to deal with it. So we got to start being mindful again. That, hey, man, everybody has an angle. Everybody has an angle. People don't just walk up on you and want to hang with you. People don't just come around you and feel like, hey, this who I want to be around. This who I want to do business with. This who I want to kick it with. People don't do that. They don't do that. Especially this day and time. That's not how it go. So we gotta wake back up and bring the unity back to the communities. You know what I'm saying? Because we have lived it for at least 10 or 15 years or better. That a lot of these people who are in our city, whether it's on a business note or any other note, they win. How? How can we allow them to keep winning like that? How? We got to come together. We got to come together. And once they see that we have came back together as a community / city of people who have real unity, we're going to continue to lose. We're going to continue to lose loved ones. We're going to continue to lose our kids to the system. We're going to continue to have flaws when we should be flawless at this point right now. Because we have all witnessed something that no other city has witnessed. And that's somebody coming into your city and making you look like you are weak as hell on your own grounds. We got a lot of people who are boldly doing that now. They're actually moving to our city because they have gotten the word from some of their comrades that's already in the city or been here in the city that, hey man, Atlanta is sweet. We ain't sweet. Atlanta ain't sweet. The real players from Atlanta are not sweet. They just haven't ran across us yet. That's all. And they do a good job at keeping themselves away from us and out of our way. Because they prey on our kids. They prey on the youth. Don't none of these children of Atlanta know the first thing about being gang related? but somebody from somewhere else have made them feel like they are gang related. But the people who are the founders of that shit knows better. Even the people who are manipulating our children and deceiving our children into thinking that they can walk them in, or they can put them in position, or they can do anything game-wise for them, they feeding them a damn dream and they not getting it. They're not getting it. A lot of these cats that's misleading these kids with this gang violence, with this gang shit, are people who can't go back to their own cities because they have done something to be ran from their cities. And if you think it's a joke or it's a game, when you meet them, tell them, hey man, let's ride to your city so we can see how tough you was in your city, so we can see the type of pull you had in your city, so we can see all this shit that you trying to make us believe. Take us to your city and let us see it happen. Let us see it in real life instead of you saying it. Because you can make your mouth say anything. Anything. But we living in a show and tell world now. Make them show it and tell it. Make them show everything they trying to tell you that they were at home. If you was all this top-notch shit at home, why did you come to Atlanta and stay? Why? Let's make it, make sense. Let's do that. Cause I can't tell. But our kids are so naive to where they really fall for that shit. They really believe it, because it sounds good. So this is, we got to get that back out of our city, man. And the people who try to bring it in along with it. We have more people in our political industry in Atlanta, in Georgia, and 90% of them are not even from Georgia. Let's know in Atlanta. Won't even live in Atlanta because of how they feel about Atlanta, what they have been made to believe Atlanta is about. No, them coming to Atlanta and being allowed to move and do what they want to do in Atlanta, they have made Atlanta gave Atlanta a bad name. All of the people who are not from here, all of the unwanteds, they give Atlanta the bad name. So we got to start doing a process of elimination with these people and get them out of our city. Let's see, can they go to their cities and throw their weight around like they do it in Atlanta? And I would bet you any bottom dollar they can't. That's why they choose to come to Atlanta and try to do it. Because they know in their own city they're going to get their head busted. And that's a true fact. Ask them. They'll tell you. You ain't got to hear from me or nobody else. Ask the people. Ask the people that are from anywhere else other than here. How would their lifestyle be if they was in their own city? They probably wouldn't even respond to you when you ask them that. So we got to get our unity back. We got to take our unity and put it back among us. So we can continue to be successful, continue to be people of our city, and now we can probably get some laws changed for our loved ones in the city who have been handpicked to be prosecuted, being handpicked to be put on trial, being handpicked to be put in bad situations and have to live it or deal with it. And the families have to live with it and deal with it as well. Somebody got to do something. Why not let it be us? We got, now our generation got to come back outside to take our city back. To take our city back. You got officers of the law. You got officers of the courts. You got officers of the justice system. You got officers of the FBI, GBI, federal government. Hey, man, everybody's playing the game. And it's all for money. It's all for money. We can't begin to imagine the amount of money Fulton County probably made off of streaming the YSL Rico trial. Because you can best believe money was made. They wasn't just letting that shit be filmed for nothing. And we can see how they done played with all the money that the government actually give them and see that. One media source was welcome in the courtroom. But everybody, all media sources could come in the courtroom and sit there and, video certain things, record certain things, this, that, and the third. And that was part of the reason why. If everybody got it, you can't sell it. Makes sense. It makes sense. So it was a lot of hidden agendas that they had in that trial, as well as the agendas that they thought they had. So that was a good tactic. That was a good plot. And it worked. It worked. It worked on 27 people, and it didn't work on 2 people. So that's a good odds right there. Those are good odds. 27-2, those are damn good odds. Not counting the other people that was taking pleas and doing this and doing that and getting their cases all out the way. They won all the way around the board. 2 people beat them in the whole courthouse. And it was predicted to be like that. That was a pre-planned play that they ran. And all they wanted was the plea deals. It was all about plea deals in the beginning. But when you got district attorneys and the judge in cahoots with each other, you can do that. You can do that. All you got to do is keep saying no bond. And every day our loved ones sit in now, that's a day off of life. And that's a day of pressure that's being forced upon them to have to take. Because there was no reason anybody that was eligible to get an bond shouldn't have gotten a bond. All of those guys should have got a bond. All of them. Because the state didn't have a case in the beginning. But like I say, a lot of those people weren't from here. But they are here prosecuting our family members, our loved ones, our kids. And they can do it with no respect because they don't know these kids. They don't owe these kids nothing. So they don't have to have a difference of opinion. They don't have to have a second thought, none of that, because they are not here. These are not people who they know, people who are family members of theirs. None of that. So yeah, why not have all the DAs, all of the same DAs in other courtrooms fighting cases that's being, put on a lot of people along with the charges that they already have? We got to make it make sense. Got to make it make sense. So we just, it's time to bring unity back to Atlanta. It's time. These rappers can't do it. The only thing they can do is what they being forced to do because they're on probation. But they can't, going to a school, going to these little events, talking to the kids, this, that, and other. What the hell what problem that gonna solve? What? When we live in a show and tell world. What problem is it? The only thing them kids gonna think or say is the same thing that the people who are talking to them about doing the right thing said when it was said to them, did when it was said to them, acted on when it was said to them. Long as it ain't happening to me, I can care less what happened. That's the mentality of the youth today. That's the mentality of the people of the generation of today. They are show and tell people. So if you can't show it to them, you damn sure can't tell it to them. What reason do they have to listen? Make it make sense. Until they are put in a position to have to deal with life, as I call it, they can continue to be like that because it haven't happened to them. So they don't have to believe in it. They don't have to believe that it's consequences behind actions. So how you gonna win that? You gotta get the source away from them. And those are the people who are in our city that's misleading our kids into thinking that they are gang members or they can be gang members. And I just don't get how weak being in a gang has gotten when a man can just walk off the street and say, I'm in the gang. No initiation. No, they don't have to attend nothing. They don't have to be a part of nothing. They don't have to do nothing but say it. How in the hell can we allow somebody to say that these are gang members when they are only acknowledged as gang members because a person trying to make the people who they promise that they can, handle the situation on gangs or gang violence, made them a promise that they can do it. And all the while had bad intentions on how they was gonna do it. Yeah, make it make sense. Make it make sense. You represent a man on a gang charge and then turn around and try to prosecute somebody for the same gang charges? Really? That's how our district attorney office move? Why? Because they have a narrator that makes them fear her. So she can make them do whatever she wants them to do. She can make them say whatever she wants them to say. A lot of stories and incidents that we have heard in these last couple of weeks of the trial, man, you got to be real good to premeditate persecution. You got to be. You are heartless to do that. You know, and when I say that, I mean to make up cases, to make up charges to put on someone, just to put enough fear in them to take deals. And them not being aware of what's going on, they'll take the deal for 20 do 10, 20 do 15. And then once they take their pleas, it becomes a maximum sentence for penalty. You know? So we got to be mindful. We got to be mindful. If we don't, we're going to lose. We are going to lose. And when I say we, I mean the people of Atlanta are going to lose if they ever have to go in a courtroom with the DAs in there that's there now. Hopefully, we can get everybody out the DA office that's on the corrupt shit. We just gotta vote it in and hope for the best. You know, so once we see it, we got to adjust to it and we got to make something happen. Free pick. Our kids be free pick. And as soon as if they get caught with anything, at the end of whatever charges that they give or given, it's going to be a gang charge added to it. Right now, that's 100% conviction because ain't none of these guys got enough money to go in trial and fight, even though they know they right. They don't have that. So it's going to be hard to fight. You know, so it's hopefully it'll get better before it get worse, but if not, it's going to get far worse before it get better. That's how it's going to be. So, yeah, we gotta make a stand. Yep, gotta make a stand. So, Shanita, you know, she done had a long week. She have had a difficult week, you know, because, you know, a person that was new and true and dearly to her, you know, passed away. And she went and showed the family support. And, you know, that's why she's not here. You know, so we want to keep her in our prayers. We want to hope that she's okay. She said she was going to try to make it here so she could talk about some of what she put on the internet today for us to have as a discussion. And like I say, we always have our arms open out wide for anybody who just want to come and attend the show. You know, you don't have to be booked. You can walk in. You can walk in and share your stories, or we can talk about what you want to talk about. You know, you are the host when you come to this show. You are the host, so you better have everything in a neat package. You know, so we really got to tighten up on how we carry ourselves and allow ourselves to be handled in this city, in our city. In our city. Because if we don't, we gonna go through something. And it's not gonna be nice. It's not gonna be nice. You know, the storm. You know, we want to send our thoughts and prayers out to the people that was, you know, caught in the hurricane. And, you know, hopefully they be okay, you know what I'm saying? And everything gets better, you know, gets better for them soon. You know, with all this stuff we got going on, you know, these people can't get the real type of relief that they're supposed to get, you know what I'm saying? You know, because everything is on a knot right now. You know, the government has shut down. That hurts. When your government shut down, that hurts. That hurt a lot of people. You know, so we gotta start really just staying down with each other. We got to. Cause it takes an army to fight an army. That's exactly what it takes. You know, we have that army. We just got to start utilizing it to show it. You know, so at the end of the day, hey man, we gotta stand firm. We got to, because we gotta save these kids now. We gotta save as many kids as we can, because if we don't, this generation now, they're gonna be extinct. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to put them so far away from us until they don't even exist in society. You know, so, you know, we really got to come together. Want to give a shout out to Mr. Antonio Lewis for winning another term as city councilman, you know, which they have really tried to get him out of City Hall for standing up, you know. But that's the price you pay when you try to stand up for your people. So people, we need to start supporting him. We need to start supporting Antonio Lewis, you know, because he has gotten a lot of things done. And he has a lot of things, you know, that he's going to probably put in effect or try to get put in effect, you know, and it's all good. It's all good. You know, so, you know, this is our first time having a real politician for the south side of Atlanta. First time. First time. And if we can keep him in office for 20 years, it couldn't do nothing but benefit you. It couldn't hurt you. You know, so at the end of the day, it is what it is. We just gotta be firm, and we gotta stand, you know, and we can't stand for anything, because if we do, we'll fall for nothing. You know, we have to come together, people. That's, you know, that's something we need to work on. You know, when we have these events in the city or in your city or wherever you are at, when they have those events, hey, talk about it. Y'all can call in to the show. We can talk. As y'all know, we can talk to you on the microphone, through the telephone. You know, so you don't have to be present to be a part of the show. You do not have to be present. You can get the link. When we go on, open up the link, and just let us know you there. Let us know you're there, and it's your show for today. You know, when you come to Nothin But The Truth podcast, you are the host. You are the host. So we're going to wrap it up. Let everybody go on and get to their night. You know, which, you know, that time done throwed us off so bad. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I hope that they do wind up just giving us one time zone to play with instead of a forward and a backwards. You know, that'll be, you know, we can get used to that, and, you know, we won't have so much difficulties on when these things take places or the time changes. So we're gonna wrap it up. And I want to just say I love everybody and God love us all. And this is Big Jeff from No Days Off Radio Production, coming to you live from the #1 show in the land, Nothing But The Truth. And we out.